Welcome to the Windows Computer and Technology channel, and this is, one of the reasons why sometimes we kind of wonder why Windows goes astray and why things aren't actually going in the good direction. So, Microsoft has been testing different search on the desktop and different search, um, capabilities and putting it somewhere on the taskbar, moving it around. We've even seen that possible Windows 12 images give a search box floating, kind of floating taskbar with search on the desktop. And a lot of talk about this famous search that's changing shape all the time. In the latest build of Windows 11, it's actually bigger than the one than we have right now in 22H2. Sometimes it's just a little icon of a magnifying glass, and Microsoft just doesn't seem to know what to do with search, actually. One of the things that's interesting is that search is useful. I use it all the time, but Microsoft seems to be unable to have people use it. And the reason they're playing around with it is simply because they want to try to have people go and search what they want to do. I use search a lot because if I want to do specific things with software I have installed, I'll often click the search box and want to search for a piece of software I'm using. So it is useful, and I find it very useful to use all the time. Problem is the search takes space on your desktop and on your taskbar, and it also brings you to the same thing that you already have, which is search and the start. Be it search here, or if I click my start button, I still have search. It's the same search. It's not coming to me in the same way, meaning that the search here brings me, top apps and search and a few little things, where the start button gives me the search, also the top, but with, my pinned apps and so on. I think there's too many ways that the search is, and that's what's the big problem in Windows 11. And I think that they should just remove and that possibility, having this search box here is kind of not necessarily the best idea in the world, especially if it's big. And I think that removing it is probably the best thing. And they're talking about possibly removing it from visibility on the taskbar, on the desktop, anywhere, even in Windows 10, that floating search. Rumors are that they're maybe killing it because they don't know what to do. I think it's just fine to have the search in the start button. I mean, you're in the start, you've got the search, you just search. That's all right. It's actually the same thing. And it's like, a double or triple, or trying in multiple ways to do the same thing. And this shows you where Microsoft is kind of disconnected. This shows you that you have users that want specific things, that want specific, improvements in Windows 11, for example, and the way that things happen, and the settings, and how, the context menus are built. And a lot of them are interesting. Some of them, go with the past. A lot of people like to, don't like change. So when you change something to something different, it's not always positive for everyone. But at the same time, you have teams of people that are working on search. Let's make this bigger, smaller, round, up, down, left, right. Okay, but not addressing the real questions of what people would like, really. I doubt there's a lot of people in their comments that are like, oh, I want to have this big search bar in my taskbar or on the desktop floating somewhere. Or I don't think that's one of the demands that a lot of people have. I think what people want is really somewhere else. And it's interesting to see how Microsoft will deal with things like that without, pretty much doing anything. Another example is, the Notepad. Nobody ever talked about the Notepad in Windows, and the Notepad was fine, and the Notepad, worked great until someday somebody said, "Hey, let's redesign the Notepad and let's add tabs," which we have in the latest builds. I'm not sure a lot of people asked for anything on the Notepad. The Notepad was fine, and they did, if they used it, I used it from time to time to copy paste text, for example. It was just okay. That's where I think a lot of the future of Windows, if they want it to be something that is a central part of what people would like and would want, maybe they need to focus on the essentials and stop fiddling with the things people don't really care about. I don't know. This is a great example of what's happening right now with the internal teams at Microsoft, of where things stand, and kind of gives you a reason why, or an understanding of why some of the things are the way they are in Windows. If you enjoy my videos, please subscribe, give us thumbs up. Thank you for watching.